2B of the S50 steam engine build. We're going to finish off the sole plate, or the bed plates people call it. We're going to drill all the holes. We're doing this a little bit different than things are described through the Tubal Caines series. We're just going to basically machine this, all the holes, while it's in situ, basically all in one hit. So it's something we're trying, a little bit different. Not seen it been done this way before. So we're going to give it a go and see what happens. We'll find out probably at the end if it all works. If you have any questions or anything, please put in the comments below and we'll answer them to the best of our abilities. If you don't mind liking and subscribing to the channel, that'd be fantastic. So we'll get on with the part 2B now and we'll get it finished off and machined. At the beginning of the series of videos we're doing on this S50, I said we'll try and keep it simple, maybe come up with some shortcuts and some easier solutions to machining the casting and all the parts. Like we said, we put some links in the description below to the Tubal Caines series. One thing I did notice reading through is there's a lot of setting up involved. As you put the casting down, you machine this, you take it out, mark up this, do this other part, put it back in, machine that part. I was always taught by a very good engineer who sadly passed away a few years ago, that once you put a part in the machine, so even on your lathe chuck, you do all the machining you can while it's in there, so you don't lose any zero settings and everything is true. So looking through the drawings and going through other ways of machining it, as in the Tubal Caines series, etc., I thought, why can we not drill all these holes while it's in? Now, I know the other week we said we put the stops in here as a reference, so if I want to take it out I can and put it back in and we know we're bang on, these will never move. But I thought, well, let's do this, let's try it, and let's machine going off the drawings, which I'll show you a picture of in a bit. Let's do these 3 holes for the cylinder, the ones for the slide bars, there's 4 holes there, and the 2 for the oilers. Not sure what oilers we're going to go for yet, probably end up making some, but we'll just drill a few pilot holes for those. And then while we've got it at that position, what we can then do is turn this over 90 degrees to drill through for the main bearing. Using this stop at the side here, so we know we're on. You'll see later what we're going to do. We're going to machine from this end and work our way back to this point. So once we turn it over, we can then drill through, and we know all these spacings off the drawing are exactly where we want them to be. So what we'll do, I've actually marked this out. The reason I marked it out was, while I'm doing the video, I don't want to get too distracted and end up drilling a hole somewhere it shouldn't be by miscalculation. So what I've actually done, I've gone through this prior to filming and actually just marked out all the holes. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this in a way where you could just do it with the drill. And what we're going to do, we're going to use the dials on the milling machine to work out, we can just go from that hole to the next hole, to the next hole, etc. How I started off to mark it, I've got this piece of 3/8 bar, put a point to the end of it. It actually fits between the rails and the casting, and that gives us this centre mark which I scribed. So from that, if you look at the drawings, we can then work back to any of these holes from that as a reference. And also on the X-plane, I've actually used the centre of the main bearing oil holes to give us that start point to work back this way. So what we're going to do basically is work back the other way, back to them for the final machining. So we'll start off by drilling a few holes. Well, first I'll just show you the picture, the plan that comes with the castings, and show you some of the points we're talking about with drilling. And you see on there some pencil squiggles of mine. They're actually converted into millimetres, because my milling machine's a metric one, works in millimetres. I've had to do all the conversions, and you'll just see on there, just give you an idea of what we're going to be doing. So first of all, we're going to drill the 3 holes where the cylinder goes. Now it says on the plan 7BA clearance, but we're going to drill these as a 7BA tapping size to start with, because the holes have to be transferred through onto the cylinder casting which sits on here. Now we can use the same holes as a guide to go through. The other thing also it says on the plan is these should be an inch apart. Now when I've marked it out inch apart, it brings the holes very close to the edge of the castings. So what I've actually done, I've brought them in to be 7/8 apart. It brings it more in centre. Won't make any difference because on the actual cylinder casting there's plenty to go at. There won't be any detachment. All you do is when we're working at the markings, just remember that from this centre line, from this hole across here, so instead of being half an inch, it's now 7/16, or as I've got them in metric, 11.1125 millimetres. So we'll start with drilling that now, and then we'll say work our way through, and you'll see. I'll probably speed it up. You know, so it's going to be a long video to drill all these. Well, I'll explain what I'm doing as I do it. So we'll just drill this first one now. So you got that drill right through. Like I said, we can use that going back on the cylinder. The other thing as well, what I'll do later on, just off camera, is underneath. We just touch them with the end mill just to clean up, to give a flat surface. When the bolt of the screw goes through, it has a flat surface to clamp to. I say I'll do them off camera later on. So that's it. So now we've got that drilled. What we're doing now, we'll move this up, so the 7/8 of an inch up to the next hole, and that is 22.225 millimetres. Like I said, I've zeroed the dial on the milling machine on the cross slide, and what I'll do now, I'll just move it across the 22.22 millimetres. Again, we'll probably either edit this or speed it up because it will take a bit of time to do. So now we'll get that one drilled, exactly the same process. So again, probably do this off camera. Once we've drilled that one, we can then move to the other one, again using the measurements, but also this time we need to go across 7/8 of an inch as well, so another 22.225. So I'll get them 3 drilled, get them the other 2 finished off, so 3 are drilled, then we'll move on to where the slide rails go. Yeah, bang on. Right, we'll get the others drilled and we'll come back to it in a minute. So there we go, we've got the 3 holes for the cylinder drill now. What I've actually done now is come back from my centre line there, using it as my sort of datum 0. I've come out to this rail here, the centre of this rail, and from that centre line back out, that should be 7.14 millimetre. So we've wound the handle back out to there, and now what I'm going to do is go from this centre of this hole to that point there, which again, if you look at the drawing, and that's 41.275 millimetres. So again, I'll probably have to speed that up or edit it out and just get it lined up. It's only a case of using your dial on the end of your table on your milling machine, so I'll do that now. that's 40, 41.275, and that puts me bang on my scribe line. So what we'll do now is swap that over for the centre drill that, do that one, and then move up again, 49.215mm, do that one, and then we'll do the same on these two, and that we need to move it across from this line, 14.7875mm to that one. So we'll get them done again, just edit those out, and then we'll get them drilled, and then we'll move across, do the head bearings. Just a quick one, I forgot to mention, these need drilling according to the plan, 5/16, which is about 8mm deep for tapping 7BA. So I took them down using the DRO on the milling machine on the head, down to about 8mm. So again, same for all four, and again using the table dials. So we'll take this across now, 49.215, and drill this other end one. So we'll come back to it later. So we've got 3 holes for the cylinder, the 4 holes for the slide rails. We've also just centre drilled where the oilers are going to go, because we're going to drill through for the main bearing and bush them. We'll drill that through once the bushes are in place, so obviously your oil can get through to your shaft. The other advantage I said about this machine, everything in one go, one, it's saving the time, setting up every time, but also because it's been machined in situ as it is, we know that these 2 holes are parallel with these 4 holes, so you know that when you put your cylinder on, everything is going to be in line. So I think that's another advantage of doing it this way, let alone saving the time. These holes could have been tapped, these 4 could have been tapped in situ, but I'll tap those later, 7BA, but you could have done them in the drill while you're doing it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to drill the holes for the main bearings. And the little trick is with what we've done here, using this as a stop on the side, is when we take this up and mount it onto the angle plate, drill through, because we've got this stop here, we just put that back in against there. We know we're not moving this setting, we'll lock the table up, we know that is bang on the centre of the main bearings there, so when we turn it over, put it up against the stop, we've got that bang on line, which is exactly the right distance from that first hole, which is 1 7/8 of an inch, or 47.625mm, so we know that is bang on that measurement. So we've unclamped the sole plate from its original position, mounted it on an angle plate, so we now know that this is 90 degrees to the bed, if you will. And what we've also done, because we put this stop in originally, this angle plate here, this small one, against the little foot on the sole plate, we positioned that back in against there. Because we did the working back, the drilling back to this point, we locked the bed in place, so we know that is bang in line with the centre of the bearings. So we mount it on there. Also, as you can see here, we put parallel against the bed of the milling machine, because we use this front edge to line us up for the square on the slide rails. So now we know exactly that's bang on. The other thing that I've done is also I've measured from the back of the sole plate, the foot of the sole plate, the scribe line here, and set the drill on that, so we know we're absolutely spot on now. Everything's exactly where it should be. So what we're going to do, we're going to drill through, first of all centre drill it, and we're going to drill right through, working our way up with 4mm, 6mm, all the way up. We're actually going to ream this out. Now, I know on Tubal Caines, if you are following that series, he says to 5/16 of an inch for the reamer. I don't happen to have a 5/16, so the idea of these videos is to sort of show you easy ways of doing things and do things with what you've got. So I've got an 8mm. 5/16 is 7.93, I think, of a millimetre, so 8's close enough. So use what you've got. The piece of brass I'm going to be using for the bush is something around about half an inch, so it needs turning down anyway, so I can take that down to the 8mm, and then obviously bring that through 1/4 inch for the shaft. So what we'll do, we'll drill these now. Again, we might speed the video up just to show you, and then reaming it, and then that's basically, apart from just tapping these holes, which again I'll do these off camera, that's basically the sole plate finished. This is going through now with a 7.5mm drill bit. Just a little tip for you, you can see here, just put around this piece of old car or a notebook or something, just stops all the swarf and everything going down onto your screw for your cross feed. So last hole now, 7.5mm. That's all we did. Started with the centre drill, then we went 4mm, 6mm, and then up to 7.5. And like we said, the 8mm reamer, or if you have a 5/16, use a 5/16. Like I say, it's all about using what you've got, as long as it'll work. There you go, it's a nice gentle feed, and that's that reamed. So like I said, we'll fit the bushes, we'll turn them down to 8mm to fit that. All we're going to do then is drilling for the oilers, spot face the little feet and drill them through, then like I say underneath where the cylinder goes, just spot that as well. We'll probably show you that on the next video when it's complete. There we go, job done, for the sole plate at least, not the bed plate. So tap them out now, 7BA. As you can see, we've also just faced those off and drilled them through both ends. Same underneath where the cylinder's going to bolt, we've done those, you see. So that basin now is ready for the bushes, which I said we'll make those and fit them. Just a bit of Loctite to hold them in place. So they're 8mm outside, ream through 1/4 inch for the shaft. Also just clean that face up there a little bit, literally just touch it with end mill, just to clean it up. So yeah, that'll do us for now, and then catch you in the next video and see what other little tricks and tips we can give you next time. So until then, YouTubers, thanks for watching. and it'll be right.